This is going to be a stretch for you. Uh,
Okay.
but I have to throw it out there just because I see the dots and I'm connected in my mind. I really like this idea of pro-dependence. I like
Mhm.
this idea of viewing the betrayal as trauma. And then I'm also having the idea of post-traumatic growth. Have you seen any instances of post-traumatic growth after somebody has worked with you for a period of time that had experienced that trauma, but has worked with you in kind of a more uh, pro-dependence kind of way? Have you seen any growth that was able to come out of that?
100%. I actually did a workshop on post-traumatic growth after post-traumatic stress because it is so important to take that situation, get through the crisis, develop the skills and the strengths, and then, although I don't necessarily tell a client this right off the bat, but they will end up being stronger and more resilient as a result of what they've been through. And that is what breeds post traumatic growth. And if you follow the 12-step program, which helps addiction and certainly is available for addicts as well as partners, that 12 step centers around giving back. And that giving back is post traumatic growth. That is that ability to have been able to experience a trauma and then turn it around, get stronger, and give it back to other people and show them how they can get stronger too. So that's not a stretch at all for me. I really do believe in post traumatic growth. Not everybody gets there, but not everybody has the tools to know how to get there.
That is that is outstanding. I actually interviewed one of our mutual friends, Christine Turl Shields, and
Mm-hmm.
I interviewed her going into Thanksgiving, and I wanted to ask her some questions about gratitude and things like that, and thankfulness. And that arose out of that conversation as well. I said, now, Christine, why is it important to be grateful, or why is it important for these things? And she said a number of things. That she said she had a response that was kind of like a rebalancing type of effect, which I really believe, and it was insightful for me. But aside from that, she mentioned that gratitude, and just kind of in passing, that gratitude and thanks can be an important ingredient. It's an ingredient in the 12-step program, but it's an important ingredient in being able to see and identify the growth opportunities. So it could be like the beginning part of being able to get to the point where you might have post-traumatic growth.
I would agree 100%. And Christine and I have done a lot of workshops together, and we believe in giving that kind of hope. You know, one of the things that I believe as a coach, but I'm also a coach. And so I'm always looking for the positive and always looking for gratitude. And so giving our clients those skills too is important. I always say that there are three factors to happiness, and those factors are being able to stay in the moment and not staying in the past. If you stay in the past and bad things have happened to you, you never grow. And it's not fretting about the future. You can be vision oriented, but a lot of people worry about what's going to happen to them. And if they stay in the moment, they will really be able to um, access their own strengths right then and there and the good that is before us. Because no matter what's happened to us, there is always good in our life. Even if it's just the sun shining, I mean, there are good things that are important for people. That second factor is having the attitude of gratitude. And that's not just being grateful, but it's also looking at what's working in my life. Oh, well, what's working is I've got my health, or maybe what's working is that I have enough paper and writing utensils to write out my feelings and journal every day. I mean, it's simple or it can be long. Decide cognitively that you're going to put a different picture on something. And so instead of looking at something as only trauma, you say, hey, how have I grown stronger from this, and what do I have to learn from it? And when you can ask yourself those questions, You no longer are a victim, but you're in the empowered state of knowing that you're stronger because of it.
I really, really like that. I'm a big fan of a yes and type of mentality. It's not an either or. It's yes, that happened. Yes, there are struggles. And this other thing is capable of coexisting with that. And I think I might have missed the third point. So I got the mindfulness and I got the gratitude for happiness, but my computer was glitching a little bit. What was the third point?
It's called reframing, and it's when you take a picture that's happening to you and you put a different frame around it, and you ask yourself two very important questions. How can I grow stronger from this ordeal or this crisis? And what does it have to teach me? And when you do that, you take yourself out of the victim state and you empower yourself so that you see that you're stronger because of it.
Yeah, I frequently like to identify in situations like that, what am I going to learn from this situation? But also the converse of that, what do I refuse to learn from the situation? We can learn bad lessons that don't need to be internalized. So I kind of put that check on myself to make sure I'm not learning the wrong things, the wrong messages from a bad situation.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I'm out of questions.
Okay.
I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. I feel super grateful for being able to speak with you today. Is there anything that people should know about the presentation? And I know that you have recently written a book. I didn't know if you wanted to share any bits about the book that is it published or is it about to be published?
It's being published as we speak.
So what is the book about? Can you give us a teaser?
Yeah, well, the book is about empathy. And one of the things we see in couples work, early couples recovery work, is that addicts lack empathy. And I believe that's for addiction has robbed them from that. They had to be secretive and they had to be self-interested and they had to be self-absorbed. That's all about this relational process addiction. And so when they come out of it and they need to have empathy for themselves, for their community, perhaps for their partner, if they have one, they don't know how to do that. And so this workbook helps them to identify what is it that they need to practice with the world. And it's something I call AVR. It's acknowledging the issue, validating the feeling, and reassuring their partner that they really understand her pain. And so the workbook is just a variety of communication and empathy exercises. It helps them to know that they're on the right track, that they can get through this. And that premise again that I propose, which is when there's an addiction, when an addict has caused so much pain, that if they own that and they help their partner to heal, they will feel strong themselves better. It will be out in the next couple of months. I am increasing that. I'm at least doubling that time because it's like construction.
Yeah.
Somebody gives you a project time and you know to triple the time to really expect it to be done.
Well, just based on this conversation, I think that it's going to be a great book. And I think that it's going to be a great book because honestly, from my perspective, what you do, and with a percentage of the population that you serve being male, and your ability to relate and have that empathy to where you can connect and see things from that angle, I'm really excited about it. I'm probably going to get a copy for myself just so I can read through it and see what kind of things are in there and what I might be able to take away from it.
Well, thank you.
I think that's all we got for today. Thank you.
Okay, well, I've got a Zoom.